Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us back on this gracious occasion. And I hope you all had food to your heart's content. So let's move on to the second keynote address of the day. We are honored to listen to Dr. Qazi Firdausi Islam, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. I invite Dr. P.V. Prashant, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Economics, Acas, to introduce the speaker. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. I am very much happy to introduce Dr. Qasi Firdausi ma'am because when I received from the airport yesterday until arrived here was a very good experience to me. Dr. Firdausi is an esteemed academician and a dedicated educator. She served as an associate professor at Department of Educational Studies at the renowned Jamia Millia Islamic University, New Delhi. She participated several national and international conferences and published several articles in various journals. She holds a PhD in education from Jamia Millia University and holds bachelor's and a master's degree in English literature from Jamia Millia University and has post systems management from NIIT and obtained MBA from IGNOU. Her research interest includes inclusive education, language education, guidance and counseling policy, educational leadership and management. Today, Qasi Firdausi Islam will share her invaluable insights on Acas International Seminar, and we are all eager to hear her pursue. Her wealth of knowledge, combined with her passion for education reforms, promises to make this session both engaging and enlightening. Please join me in warm welcome Dr. Qasi Firdausi ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for a very generous introduction, Dr. Prashant. And the feeling is mutual. Yesterday, when we did meet, it was certainly wonderful. A wonderful Kerala welcome and an experience. And respected audience, uh, Principal Sir, Dr. Kamaluddin Sir, Sarita Ma'am, my colleague, Dr. Samir, our chief guest for the day, Dr. Professor Dila Cruz, and other organizing committee members, Ms. Rajeshri, and everybody, and some of the names I don't remember, and dear students. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and share my thoughts on AI. I know it's a new subject for many of us, but the best part is that all countries of the world are actually, it is increasingly popular in most of the countries of the world. And now that is one area or an index of a country's national development, including India's. So the right time to hold a conference and at least keep ourselves abreast with the latest knowledge and its applications in our respective fields. And since we're in the field of education, we need to be hands-on with it. At least, if not hands-on in practice, at least the theory part. I'm from the field of teacher education, so I'm in the field of professional development of teachers and teacher training. So I thought, what should I speak on when this topic was like initially shared by my colleague also, Dr. Sami. So I thought the best would be to talk on teaching, learning, and its application and the application of AI. So I titled my today's lecture, you can say our presentation, on revolutionizing teaching learning in an AI powered world. Now, what we'll say in this presentation is like maybe I'll ask from you what is AI, but we'll see how what we as teachers, as educators, should be knowing about AI. What are the AI tools we can use in education in our classrooms? And what is India's policy? And what are our skills? Where do we lack? And what kind of skills students would require in AI? And what educators, like teachers like us, would also need to learn in terms of innovative learning skills? Because AI has come, is very much going to be a part of our day to day lives. Besides, the most important, are there any real dangers involved? So, my presentation, I'll be sharing my experience on this. Um, To begin with, I'll begin my presentation. I think I'll move. Okay. Okay, I have to switch on, right? Okay. Thank you for moving that. Let me share a comic. This one? Okay. Okay, thank you. I thought of beginning my presentation with a comic clip. Now, this is a very famous comic clip of Calvin and Hobbes. There are 3 frames here. I'm audible, I think. Right. So there are 3 frames. In the first frame, you can see the small boy, Calvin, maybe it's mom, I really don't know, asking him, Calvin, would you set the table for me, please? And in the second frame, we can say, ma'am, I don't think so. I'm not enthusiastic about setting the table, comes Calvin's reply. And what do we see in the third frame? We see ultimately Calvin, the small boy, walking away with a plate away from the dining table with the thought, I don't think you should have to do something unless you're enthusiastic about it. Right? So I'm asking a lot of young audience that we have, are we enthusiastic about AI? Students, I need an answer from you. Are we enthusiastic about AI? Yes, no, whatever it could be, or maybe we are not sure. Maybe that's the answer. You know what the silence means? Silence means we are in a safe zone. We don't know whether we should go this side, the yes part, or I should step over and come this side to the no part. You know what it indicates? It indicates that I'm quite uncertain. And believe me, students, you're on the right track. You're not wrong. When AI has penetrated into our lives, our landscapes, we ourselves are at a loss. Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? Good, bad, or the ugly? So a lot of questions, a lot of ethical questions, a lot of debate, contentions have come up. So through this presentation, let's try and address some of them. Okay, now this one. Like the context, if you set up, since morning we have heard a lot of felicitations. Yes, countries are using AI in various countries. Obviously, the first country, the topmost country in the world is USA. They are way ahead in terms of AI. Any idea what is AI? Don't tell me it's artificial intelligence. All of us know. That's a very easy answer. But do you think anything you know beyond it? See, we can all make mistakes unless and until we think and we say we will. The one, you know, who makes no mistakes, students? Who are the ones who makes no mistakes? The ones who do not do anything. In case you're experimenting, thinking, doing, you are bound to make mistakes, and you have to. Unless you make mistakes, you will never learn. Unless you think, reflect, you're never going to learn. And being in the field of teaching, learning, education, we have to learn to experiment. We have to learn mistakes, because that's a quality of a growing individual, a thinking individual who's alive, conscious of the changes, of the transformations taking place, right? So use of AI has come up in various countries. We cannot do away with it. Any idea what is India's rank in the AI index? I'm not asking you questions, but I'm just trying to reflect. Students, we must be, since we're talking, our university, I mean, it's very good that this conference has come up now. You know what is India's rank? Any idea? India is doing a lot of IT work. We are very good in IT. You know, Microsoft, most of the people who are working, the 65% of the people who are working in Microsoft come from India. We have heard of Sundar Pichai. We have of Satya Nadella. And there are people from the South who are doing excellently well. So India, I'm sure India must have a good rank. Okay, that's a good guess. 14th in terms of one of the sectors. In fourth or 14th, you said? 14th, that's another. India is ranked fourth in the world in terms of there's an AI vibrancy index tool. That means how much vibrant is the culture of a country in terms of using AI. India, we have the fourth. But we'll see there are different parameters. There are 8 pillars, 8 parameters. Maybe not in all the parameters we do, but in some parameters we're doing very well. Certain of those parameters we're not doing very well. We need to work out. We don't have much of application, but we are a lot into development of AI. We'll see that. Anyway, having said that, the field of AI is here to stay in India. Any idea what is AI? Coming back to that question, what do you think is an AI? Any answer? Any answer? What is AI? We have heard. You have heard since morning. Cloud. Ma'am, it could be anything. Okay, AI is what? It's a technology. Simply, it's a technology. You know what's a technology? When you have a lock, how do you open a lock? With a key. So what's the key? Key is a technology. Most of us have this misconception that technology is something which is very complex, which is very sophisticated. It has to be very high over our heads, something, oh, we cannot understand. No, technology is something which is very, very simple, which makes our life very easy. Technology is something which we have to control. That is technology. And the moment we have a technology which we humans feel we cannot control, we have a situation where technology is controlling us, then we cross the line from a very good use of technology to a very dangerous or an uncertain use of technology. So this is the debate that we have on AI, artificial intelligence, and an upcoming GAI, generative artificial intelligence. See, artificial intelligence is something very simple. It's actually technologies like machines, computers, which help us do routine tasks, automated tasks, manage our schedules. All of you are using AI. Are you aware of it? Yes or no? You are using it in online shopping during festivals every time. You're using it to order the 10-minute pizza. Blinkit. What is all this? You're typing messages. All that's AI. That's artificial intelligence. Maybe we don't know, but the nomenclature, we don't know, but the concept we are using it. So the field of AI is here to stay. Now let's see in the Indian context. See, India has a population of 1.21 billion, the largest democratic dividend in India. We have 22 scheduled languages in the Indian constitution. So the diversity is tremendous in a country like India. And we also have the largest religious minority. India is one of the most plural countries of the world, having religions of various faiths. So the kind of diversity, you can think what India is. So diversity, what is important then? Diversity in terms of education, income, and the lifestyles become very, very stark. I mean, they flash out. That's the kind of inequity we have. So naturally, it follows that perhaps technology can be an enabler and leverage the diversity among the different groups. We might feel we can use technology, to create equity among all of us. But then again, there's a catch. We have seen in the kind of computer technology, it creates a divide between the have and the have not. Right? In spite of the best government interventions, government partnerships, we see there are certain within a same state, there are certain districts where technology usage is very high and certain areas where technology usage is very less. The same thing is also happening for AI in India. So a big divide exists in terms of infrastructure and usability context. We have inequitable India, but that doesn't mean that we should shy away from using AI or technology in our country. AI is very much a part and parcel. So let's see what we should do as educators. Educators must consider not how much resources or technology we have, but whatever little technology that we have, how correctly or how much I'm familiar with it. We might think, oh, this universities have this kind of technology. We don't need big things. We need small kind of things, but whatever it is, we must be excellent in that. That's what AI teaches us actually. It's like having a car, but I don't know how to drive. Many of us have that. We have a car, but I don't know. It's a skill. So using and learning a technology is a skill. So AI, maybe right now, like when I said, what is AI? Are you enthusiastic? We do not know yes or no. That's all right because we do not know the skills right now of what is an AI. Alternately, we as students and citizens of a global world, we must be aware of UNICEF's global transferable skills. I can see someone nodding, so that's very good if you're aware. They have come up with the concept of innovative learning skills. Out of the four major ones, they have talked about digital literacy and media skills. So, digital literacy is very much part. So, this leads us to the fact that we have to be aware of AI. We have moved from web 2.0 to web 5.0 almost, which is the telepathic web. All that is different. You must have heard of Elon Musk. Yes, so he's moving into neural networks. So we're moving wearable technologies there for the disabled. So all this kind of technology we have come up moving for that, but these are still in the experimental stages. So we educators must be learning professionals, and these innovative learning skills must be utilized for understanding and for using and understanding AI and its application in education. So classrooms actually represent a unique opportunity to use AI in unique ways. While we know that AI has the potential to address some of the biggest challenges in education, and UNICEF has also talked about innovate teaching and learning practices and accelerate progress towards sustainable development goals 4. So there is no way in which we can say we are not aware of AI. UNESCO is also committed to supporting member states to harness the potential of AI technologies for achieving the Education Agenda 2030, which everybody is aware of, while ensuring that its application in educational context is guided by principles of inclusion and equity. This is important. In AI, like any technology, we have to see how is it inclusive, how is it shaping the needs of different kinds of learners and the different kind of classroom diversity. Now, this slide is titled Teachers Can Work with AI in Educational Settings to Improve the Learning Experience. So there was a meeting of the World Economic Forum annual meeting held very recently, 9th of January 2025, the UNESCO meeting part 1. They have come up with these kind of findings. This is relevant for, it was actually index of 36 countries worldwide, let me tell you. India is also a part of that. 36 countries worldwide where AI, its application, its experimentation, its development is starting. So this is known as AI vibrancy tool. So these findings came up with artificial intelligence tools are essential for student success in college and at work, according to 71% of teachers and 65% of students. What does this indicate? We have to embrace AI technology because that's the future. And this is the latest finding which has come up from a record of 36 countries globally. India is also part there. Second, AI in education should be a collaboration between teachers and technology that frees educators up to deliver engaging lessons and crucial mentoring. We shall see how AI tools can be used by teachers in their classroom so that they can handle much of the routine classroom work like student learning, student grading, student assessment, all that can be used. And teachers should be left with doing the more nobler uh, not the cognitive role, but the effective domain. Like you interact, counseling. Today, somebody in the morning asked a question: how can technology handle many of the counseling problems? That's why we have teachers. This report indicates that teachers should be actually mentoring students. So, not the teacher should be bothered more with the effective domain of learning and not with the cognitive and the uh, psychomotor domains. Then last is educational institutions must invest in both AI infrastructure and teacher training while also ensuring this technology is available for students. So we need a lot of capacity building programs because it's a new area. So all institutions must invest in capacity building for the students and teachers. By the way, just before we move on to use of AI in teaching learning environments, this was the report of Forbes. They said 60% of teachers are already using AI in their classrooms to handle routine tasks like grading, multiple choice assessments. You must have seen teachers have already used it, right? Many of you, Mr. Vidyala, must have set for the exams. So these are all AI actually, tracking student progress and generating practice exercise. Immediately we submit an assignment, an exam, and we get the score, and we are so happy. If you get 80%, we are so happy. So all this is a part of AI we are using. This has allowed teachers to focus more on providing meaningful feedback and facilitating group discussions. So the report thus indicates the benefits of AI. Then this collaboration is not just about enhancing education and AI leveraging, but AI can also help address teacher burnout and stress. Obviously, we see teachers are fatigued because from the routine tasks they have, especially if you look into school teaching, so teachers do have fatigued exercises. They're so much involved in so many routine activities that perhaps AI can be a blessing if they can use it in the correct way. We'll look into the tools now, but these are just the potential benefits of where AI has penetrated into the lives of teachers and what are the benefits, potential benefits. Then with last they talked about from adaptive learning platforms. There are a lot of adaptive learning platforms that personalize content for millions of students to AI assistants to help teachers work more efficiently. Future of education isn't about choosing between human teachers and AI, but rather harnessing the both of worlds. We always have a debate and a question: will AI replace teachers? What do you think? Will they do? No, it cannot. We had a problem like technology would replace computers would replace teachers. Well, no. But certainly one is thing that teachers who do not use computers would be replaced, right? So teachers, if AI has come into, if you're not aware of its usage and how we can use it, it'll definitely be a loss for us, the teaching force. By the way, students, now these are educators to-do list. Uh, are you aware that when we talk of AI, there is something known as a very weak AI? That means there's a weak artificial intelligence and there's also a strong artificial intelligence. Are you aware of this? What do you think is a weak artificial intelligence? It's weak, number one characteristic. What else is it? Why do you think it's weak? Okay, artificial intelligence are actually technologies where certain predefined, pre-programmed instructions are fit inside an algorithm. It's a machine program, so automatically it's like a search engine. What do you do in a Google? When you search something, so many things come out of a keyword. All that information hasn't fed in. So weak AI is something which is dependent on humans to feed more data, more information. So online shopping, social media, all that we are doing, Alexa, Siri, do this. These are all examples of weak artificial intelligence. That means they are restricted in their efforts because only whatever data has been put in, the output will be there. Nothing new will be generated. So obviously, who puts the data? It's humans like us who work and put in data inside the machines, the computers, and whatever command we give, that is done. Whatever email addresses, whatever we need to search. So that's weak AI because it is dependent on human intervention. The good news is that most of the AI is now weak AI. But we are now moving from AI to a next field which is known as GAI, generative artificial intelligence. This is a dangerous part. Now, what happens with the generative artificial intelligence, ChatGPT 4, for example, we have? These are large language models, but you know, these technologies, they can problem solve, be creative, they can be logical, they can have critical things just like human beings. So you will the image, the kind of yeah. Okay, I hope if the voice is okay. If it sounds good, do let me know, because again, this is technology. We know technology plays truant at times. So this is again technology. So no humans can never be replaced. So anyway, is this okay now? Okay. So we were talking about this strong technology. When generative AI, artificial intelligence, is coming into the picture, so the kind of voice recording, images, or the kind of technologies they'll bring in, it'll be very similar to the human beings. At times, we ourselves might not be able to be sure, is it me or is it the cloned me? Right now, they're having many humanoid robots. I think even in Kerala, there is a humanoid robot. They use it in the schools. Anybody knows the name of the robot in Kerala? They're using it in Trivandrum in one of the schools. It's known as Iris. It's a sari clad model, and she's a teacher, and the students are so excited to share hands with her, to say hi. So that's a humanoid robot. Kerala is the first example they're using it in. I think KTPC school, they're using it in Trivandrum. But anyway, that's again an example of a weak AI, because whatever the robot would be do, it's been pre-programmed. Like people like us fed into the data. It's like a dictionary. What happens when we Google a word? We feel, oh, the computer gives us all the meaning of the words, the thesaurus. But what has been done? Technically, Bill Gates has long back fed in an American dictionary into the system. That's why the British English is so different. Favorite, color, all the words are different. Why? Because an American dictionary has been fed into the system. So whatever you Google, you get the results. So with this is weak AI again, but with strong AI, which is GAI, generative artificial intelligence, it'll be very difficult to see who's real and what is a cloned person. Like Dolly the ship, you have seen, no? Dolly, a cloned human being. But anyway, what educators need, but we don't need to worry right now, because I'm sure there is a Beijing consensus, which means AI, one of the principle of AI is to develop and utilize AI not to harm human beings. So it's an ethical use of AI. All manufacturers, there are 4 5 companies who are doing it, IBM, Microsoft, uh, OpenAI is already doing it. So these systems are developing those GAIs, but they have to work under the Beijing conference that you cannot develop any technology which will harm human beings. I'll just share an example, a very personal. Remember Alexa? We ask Alexa. Why I come back to Alexa? Because I also use it. My son uses it. My son is doing his computer engineering. He's in the final year. So once I scolded my son. I'm just sharing a personal example. Whatever, because of grades. So he was very angry. Generally, my mom scolded me. So he couldn't reply back. So there's an Alexa. We have an Alexa. So he tells Alexa, Alexa, scold my mom. And we both laughed at the response, because what was Alexa's response? I'm sorry, I'd rather not. These things have a way of coming back. So we both laughed at the response. But at the same time, I realized, what if this is a weak AI, because response has already been fed in. But what in future if there we have a GAI, generative artificial intelligence, which is much more powerful than what human beings, and if the system malfunctions, if the program malfunctions, and Siri, Alexa, or whatever bot can actually attack humans, it's possible. But then I feel thankfully manufacturers will see that these things do not happen, and we have a Beijing consensus which has come up very recently. And why I'm referring to Beijing consensus, we shouldn't worry or be wary of using this AI, because they said AI should not be used for harming individuals. But these are real dangers and challenges. We do not know what GAI can do. AI is good, but what generative AI, it's the fifth generation thing, we really are uncertain. This is what educators, like teachers, can do in the classrooms. Use AI tools responsibly to enhance teaching and improve student learning outcomes. Personalized, I'll share the examples, but I'm just going through these principles. Personalized learning experiences by identifying individual needs, adapting content and pace, providing real-time feedback. Like students' strengths and weaknesses, AI can identify. Obviously, accordingly, there are lists. What are the strength, weakness, interest, hobbies, all that can be done. So AI can do all that. Create more engaging, effective learning environments with a human-centric approach. Has anybody used an AI platform? You must have used, many of you. Byju's, Khan Academy. So it's like a world in itself. We don't need anything else. So they are already there, they're using us. So foster digital literacy skills to help students understand how AI works, potential applications and limitations. So as educators, we must be aware of this. Also be aware of UNICEF's global learning transferable skills, which talks of innovative learning, responsible use of digital and media skills. Then discuss, most important, discuss ethical considerations related to AI in the classroom, encourage critical thinking and responsible decision making. Because right now AI is limited, whatever, but the future AI which is coming, GAI, uh, is as smart as a human being, capable of logical reasoning, problem solving, even come up with things much faster than the human brain. So how do we control that? That needs is a potential thing. Now these are some of the AI tools in education. uh, I don't have this. There's no laser thing. Anyway, I'll be sharing this PPT, but these are the AI tools in the different category. The center button, right? Thank you. Okay, this Carnage Learning, but this is the link here. I mean, I could have opened that link and shown, but it's not working here. Control and all. So this is AI tool Carnage Learning. This is personalized learning and tutoring. How does it do? It's an intelligent tutoring system. Intelligent tutoring means it provides personalized feedback and support, adapting to individual learning styles and needs. We know students have different learning styles as per Gardner's intelligence theory. So this would be specific. Suppose to learn one content could be water cycle. I do it in 10 minutes. My colleague does it in 1 hour. So accordingly, AI would plan out content. Or I have to see very easy content, simple, or a colleague or a student wants very challenging content. So accordingly, AI would curate these contents, bring it out, and according to each learner's intelligence levels, AI would come up with the content. So that's why it's known as intelligent tutoring systems. Besides, at your own pace, I want to take an exam maybe after 2 sessions of doing any content. So after 2 sessions, I might take an exam, but another student might need 3, 4, 5 sessions. There are slow learners, students with different learning needs. So for them, AI can create their content. Then for student assistance and virtual interaction, so these are the tools: Mainstay, Remind, Packback. We have chatbox virtual assistants. We all have used, even in booking a ticket, lot of chatbots come. We know it. Then parent-teacher communication, they can use enhanced online discussion boards. I think some of you must be using it. So a lot of these kind of, then this is again smart content creation, Magic School AI, Duolingo, language and communication. Here you can use adaptive algorithms like language. They can translate into that language and give you. So this is Duolingo. Then similarly, administrative support, it can be used. These are the tools. Automate task, virtual and immersive learning. I think many of must be have used AR and VR, visual reality. So there's a tool known as Google Expeditions. You can use it and you can get virtual expeditions. Suppose you're going for a historical tour, you could use that and see it. So only thing this should be applicable with us. So these are all AI tools we can use if you have the infrastructure. Then virtual tours are there, virtual 3D classrooms, virtual camps, activities, all this can come. Interdisciplinary experiential learning, math and literature, history and literature. Suppose I have to do language writing, so I could learn a historical content. Okay, and my historical content would be served as well as my language writing skills. So all this, and a new education policy is talking a lot about this, that ethical learning and awareness, even this is important. Building awareness, teach students about social issues, climate change. I don't know, but in Kerala, everywhere I saw it so clean. Maybe in the schools you all teach, they do it. So maybe we could use these kind of AI tools to teach much further. Then financial and resource management is there. Safety is a very important part. Since morning we have had issues. How safe is our data? How safe is the information that we give? And obviously, we are living in a country of surveillance. There's a lot of surveillance, so we really don't know how kind of safety. But yes, there are still tools to ensure this. Then testing and research, big way. In fact, India is ranked fourth. It's because of its India's R&D. We are doing a lot of research on R&D. We are not using AI in applications in school as yet in the education, but India has come up with a lot of research papers. Then we have gamification engagement, everybody knows its usage. Professional development, I mean, these are Kahoot. If you can use, I have used Kahoot for my students. What happens here, you can use personalized content. Then after learning that content, just 2-3 minutes, you can make questions on it and immediately give answers, and the students can immediately, and you send them that video. So accordingly students will see it, and they cannot proceed to the next part of the video unless they complete that exercise. So Kahoot is a wonderful tool which teachers can use, and it should be used. And you can use it in different learning contexts. You can make 4 or 5 videos out of the same content, because you've realized certain students, all students are not at the same learning levels. Some are at the other end of the curve, some are average, some are below, some are differently abled. So you can just make 4 or 5 content videos of this same content, give it to your students, and then you can use it. And then it will automatically generate. So teachers' time is not wasted. But the only thing is we must know how to use it. And we have so many technologies. We mustn't be scared like, how do we use this? You don't have to know all of them, but use 1 or 2 of them and see and use it correctly. But most popular AI tools currently used by teachers, Google Classroom, iReady, Khan Academy, ChatGPT, Gemini. I'm sure Google Classroom, most of us have used it. That's an AI tool, and we used it a lot in the COVID times, right? Right from grading to deadlines you could give, sharing of resources, even students could see the assignments you could do, grade, everything was there. So this is an AI tool. We've used it. Now, how AI is used. Earlier, I just said tools. Now, these are the examples. It allows to personalize learning. It will, because a lot of big data is fed into the system. If a student says, these are my interests, weaknesses, maybe I'm very good in language, very weak in maths, all the data is captured, and accordingly, individual lesson plans are created. So, intelligent tutoring, adaptive assignments. I can give different assignments to different students, virtual classrooms. I think we all have used virtual classrooms, isn't it? We all have used this. So this can be used. There are interactive whiteboards. So all this AI does that. AI powered content. Many of the times we're using it, but we're not very sure what is the concept we're using. Predictive analysis. It can, based on the students, like for 1 year, students is formative assessment, summative assessment. So you can just feed in all those data, and at the end, a kind of a graph appears. So the students' performance is there. Delhi schools are using it, the government schools, just to do a predictive analysis of a student's performance. So in parent-teacher meetings, they tell them, this is how at the beginning of the year your child was, midterm they have progressed here, either moved up or down. So all that predictive analysis are there. So it depends on the tool that you're using. This is again how teachers can work with AI to craft transformative learning experience. Like there was a Pew Research data it says out of the 36 countries, the teachers are actually aware that AI has a very important role to play in education. 73% of educators seeing balanced benefits, positive potential, or remaining open to exploring AI's impact. So this provides us a ripe opportunity to use AI in education. But some of the, I'll just use where AI used in the language when we're talking of generative language. Chatbot technologies are used. One thing by Bodonia explored the innovative use of Chat GPT in teaching English as a foreign language writing. Now, here, students use Chat GPT to identify and rectify errors in their writing to revise their assignment based on the feedback provided. Because these are large language models. So, obviously, the more big data is there, the more it is easier to come up with different kinds of feedback for students. Basically, data has to be entered into the system. That is what it is. And it does the processing. So they've realized it is very important. They can do similarly. Sasaki examined the use of machine translation technology in writing instruction, comparing two types of written feedback: comprehensive direct teacher and MT. But this is an interesting, because here they realize that machine technology uh, was effective in improving linguistic complexity. Why? No, sorry, they said teacher corrective feedback was more effective in improving linguistic complexity. Linguistic complexity means grammatical competence, structure, form of a language. Machine couldn't do it. Teachers could teach them very well through personalized examples. But what they did, machine technology based feedback enhanced accuracy and fluency. Any word, you want to know how it's pronounced. What do? You play it and it tells you how it's pronounced. So that way it helped. You also have the small children games, isn't it? ABCD, Twinkle Twinkle. And you see many of this. I mean, I don't remember the comics, the cartoons, because I've stopped seeing them. Earlier I used to see them. Small children try to speak English like a native speaker because they have learned it from the TV programs. Dr. Samir's children must be doing it. That's what he was sharing, because children learn, they learn to speak. So that kind of pronunciation, no, let's go. They would be speaking, they pick those things up. So those kind of things are actually beneficial. I mean, if you use it in the correct way. So there are a lot of researchers. I mean, I don't know, I can just share. Similarly, Campbell Kova examined the impact of a chatbot-driven AI system to improving students' oral skills and overall. Again, pronunciation, correct usage, punctuation, all those is important. Guo et al. Proposed an innovative approach to classroom debates by utilizing chatbots to facilitate students' preparation through engagement and argumentative discourse. I mean, we talk a lot about deductive thing. So here we have machines who can teach us all about the Socratic method, how to do deduction, how to do reasoning, logic. Deductive method is how do you reason out, how do you logic, like all men are mortal. Socrates is a man, so Socrates is mortal. So this is deductive. So earlier teachers now will not say. Machines will teach us all this, but all this needs to be fed into the system. Again, this is more research going on. Context of language, a lot of research has been used. So from a psychological perspective, maybe we had a question. Can the impact of technology enhance language, reduce the anxiety and learning outcomes? Can it reduce? So the research proved here that yes, through this language, through chat GPT, anxiety of students can be reduced. Because many a times you realized in counseling, I may not feel very um, comfortable to share my problems with a human being. Could be, but if I have probably a system with me, or I feel I have confidentiality, then I might open up. So this is what they did. So, but we again don't know what would be done with the data. So there are dangers, but then research has proved, researchers are working on this kind of things. So the study found that AI generated instructional feedback significantly reduced students' public speaking anxiety. Uh, but then to understand generative AI, it's important to understand technologies on which generative AI tools are built. Machine learning, deep learning, this is one step ahead of AI. Deep learning, machine learning is again where the systems are so intelligent that they're almost like human beings. You don't need human beings here. They would replace human beings. That's the future of AI. Here again, it's a potential danger. But here I just said, these are my thoughts, that we have to understand that we're in a digital world which actually pins us down. So we no longer now travel physically through AR, VR, Google expeditions. I can go. Sir invited us to Philippines today morning. Maybe if I use word Google expeditions, I might go to Philippines and come back. But then that would be a very different kind of experience if I travel physically, right? But then I think many people would want that. We have become, young children want that. We have become couch potatoes. We feel we should be able to do it. So there are good, bad, both the sides. So educationally, it's a blessing. We can use AR and VR for integrating science through content like solar system, understanding that, galaxies, the 3D models, 3D printing, all that has come up. So even NEP, the new education policy, has talked about integrating AI in education. But one, I would like to say, for any digital query or transaction, even now, suppose we are directed to a person or a bot, and that bot has to verify our presence, tells us that, and I myself have to actually verify it's me. Don't I have face reader, that screen? I mean, these are barriers actually. And every time I have to, and there begins my security questions. What is the name of your first pet? What is this? So I need to remember all those answers to security questions. So there is a danger of using a lot of AI. I mean, we have to be kind of, I'm not saying we have to become machines, but we have to remember all these things. And also the dangers, what if I forget the security questions? Even if I write it down, I might lose papers. So even if you have AI, many apps would need the security permissions. So for that also we need to be ready. That's a challenge. Maybe the young generation, is very good for them. So it depends on who wants to use them. This I will just go like it was saying. What was saying, once it was ghosts that scared me, today's passwords. This is one of the negative aspects of AI. He said, because there's so much password, we live in a world of passwords. So that's it. But I will not carry on into this. Uh, One thing we need to know, so when we need to create very strong passwords, like we were saying, the data privacy accuracy. So Vivek Bora talks that, so into the creation, if you can remember this, so into the creation of a password goes an asterisk, capital letter, a symbol, lower and a lowercase, and a number. So these are real dangers of actually, not only dangers, you can say additional, for some it is additional safety measures, but these things come up. But in a country like India, we also need to understand questions how technology can be leveraged. No wonder we have seen the powerful role how technology, AI can be used in education. We are using it. But these are certain questions I have. Like, do we have ethical guidelines for the ethical use of AI in education, considering the vast country that India is? I'm talking in specific context of our country. What regulations are in place to protect the privacy and rights of students, eliminate biases, and ensure transparency? I don't remember. I mean, I don't know if you remember recently, Gemini Bard was asked about certain political leaders, and it had come up with a very unparliamentary answer for a prime minister, which was very wrong. So, in that context, India came up with its mission AI policy. India has really come up after that launch that we want to have our own AI policy on 7 parameters. So it can be biased because answer would be based on whatever data is already fed in. So it could lead to biasness at times. So you have to understand how these things work. Then what is the trust, kind of trust the public can or needs? Because we are giving all our data. Students have their data, digital repositories, academic bank of credits. We are giving our personal data. We really don't know what is there. But I'm sure there are systems in place to take care of that. So we should be aware of all this. Then funding requirements at the government level to ensure that we have a lot of research and development. See, America is leading the way because it's investing billions of dollars into this. They have a philanthropic thing. So to use AI, we need funding. Another one, when we develop responsible solutions for AI in various phases of education, like student grading, assessment, what are the potential risks? How do we address them? Are the solutions provided by AI correct, or can the correct prediction of a student's strength and weakness be viable? Because a machine is doing it. What if it fails and comes out with wrong analysis? These are real dangers, and we must consider and weigh them very carefully. It's like psychological testing. When you administer a test and you score it or interpret incorrectly, and the child or person will go on believing what he or she is not. So AI, there's also a danger of how when teachers are using it, what is the kind of data that goes in and what is the interpretation. So human interventions are always needed. Now let's look into the future. That were the dangers we talked about. AI tools are very much there. What are the dangers for India? We just saw. Now, what is the future of AI? How much is it there? What is our take? See, AI can enhance teachers and learning capabilities in unprecedented ways. We have seen it in the research done by World Economic Forum. So we have to go by it. Now, the transformation is already underway. They're saying the global AI in education market is expected to go from a whopping 5.818 billion in 2024 dollars to 112 billion dollars by 2034. So it's a whopping investment, and we have to be ready for it. Like it or not, we need to be ready for it because we cannot remain away from technology. We are in a global world. UNICEF talked about global transferable skills. Digital skills is one of them. Moreover, if you look into this, I was reading a very recent newspaper report. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who had come down to India recently, he said, and his company invested 3 billion in India for AI and cloud. So you can imagine India is a big potential for AI market. Satya Nadella coming down and investing 3 billion in India. So certainly in education market is a big thing. The report also quoted the giant, what are the dangers of it, saying it is imperative to ensure security, privacy, and trust in tech platforms and solutions as artificial intelligence plays an increasingly active role across governments and businesses as well as in individuals' lives. Even in our personal lives, AI is there. The report also, I'm just sharing the report, very latest, it had come 9 Jan. Cutting edge technologies is leading to efficiencies and benefits, but it is equally important to build guardrails. This means safety protocols to make the system safe and secure. The unintended consequences cannot perform the benefits. We cannot say we didn't expect this, but this happened. So we should be prepared. Humans should be ahead of GAI, generative artificial intelligence. So technology now is so important and so ingrained in our daily lives and in our society and in our economy that we really need to be sure there's trust around it. And that means that we have a set of principles on security, privacy, or safety, and we translate those principles into actual capabilities. Now, I talked about universal principles, which all countries are committed. So they are making them. This happened in the Beijing. Sorry. Okay. Furthermore, UNESCO's mandate calls for an inherently human-centric approach to AI. That we need AI, but it should be human-centric. That means safety should be first for humans. Furthermore, UNESCO has developed the framework within Beijing Consensus, a publication aimed at fostering the readiness of education policymakers in artificial intelligence. So I think all of us need to go through this Beijing Consensus publication. Publication Artificial Intelligence in Education Guidance for Policymakers will be of interest to practitioners, professionals like us in the field, policymaking, and education community. So this has come up now. We should keep abreast with this kind of publications to know what is in it. So it aims to generate a shared understanding of the opportunities and challenges that AI offers for education, as well as implications for the core competences needed in the AI era. So as teachers, as students, as professionals, practitioners, policymakers, administrators, what are the kind of tech competencies we would be needing in AI is all given here. Obviously, we have to keep abreast of this. We have to keep learning. We have to be learning professionals. That's what UNESCO Global Skills have also said. We must not shy away from experiments and continue constant experimentation and a commitment to innovation. Okay, so this is what it says. So we must continue the journey of AI. Now, how is India positioned? This AI Vibrancy Tool Index, which ranks 36 countries who are using AI, which ranks US the first. China is second, but it's not a close second. It is a very, very distant second. Third is the UK. Fourth is India. Now, how is India positioned? If you look into recently, it just come out very recently, the QS World Future Skills Index 2025. It's a UK publication of future skills. India has secured the second position for its readiness in future job sectors, including artificial intelligence and green skills, obviously green environment we want, trailing only after the United States. Now, if you look into the first statement, what does it indicate? It indicates that India has clearly established itself to be a future ready market. That means when we talk about future job sectors, that India has designed a lot of courses. India has the potential to use AI in its schools and undergraduate and PG courses. That is what is talked about. However, India's overall ranking across all indicators is 25th, reflecting gaps in specific areas of economic transformation and workforce. Now, what does this mean? That India needs to align its curriculum to the industry interface. The NEP talks about that we have industries, we have curriculum, we have university schools, but the curriculum must be aligned more to the world of work. This is what it is talking about. Like, we are using all those, but it is not that much aligned. So India's overall performance is 25 in future skills contender category, while nations like United States, UK, and Germany are designated as future skills. Now, this report talks about four economies, all developed and developing economies, into four categories based on their performance. This is in descending order. That means the top is pioneer, contender, then practitioner, aspiring. So India is in this contender. Not very bad. We are in the second contender. That means we are future ready. Like, everybody is interested in AI. We are doing a lot. But India's position as a contender reflects its progress in developing future ready skills. One aspect is because we have the largest youth population in the world. So below 35, we have the largest youth population, and the youth, the world has tremendous hopes on the youth. So that is what it is saying. Sorry. How is India positioned now? The index evaluates countries using four indicators: skill fit in the job, alignment between education system and industry. This is where we lack skill fit. Like, we have universities, colleges, everything, but we need to align more. That is why you see the NEP 2020 has talked about industry academia interface. NEP 2020 is known as an innovative, transformative educational policy. Transformative means it wants to overhaul the entire education system using innovative methodologies. And the first thing it is saying, and you see in universities, now they're applying, they're asking for professors of practice. That means all professors, people who are from the industry, we should be involved with them. We should collaborate more with them. So it's talking of collaboration between industry and education sectors. So that is what, and this is where India lacks. Academic readiness, capacity of education systems to deliver forward-looking skills, future of work, job market ability to recruit foreign demand skills. What skills are needed? Economic transformation, readiness for skills-driven economy. India is trying to do all this here, but here we are pretty less. However, what is significant is to understand in terms of challenges, how these things pose a challenge for us. Number one, in India, there is misalignment between academic curricula and industry demands in AI, green technologies, and digital skills. So we have a misalignment. So there's a big scope for us. This is a challenge in India. Second, limited access to higher education for its growing youth population. We need more colleges, universities, and with future-ready courses and programs of study. We need to, because NEP is talking about a transformative education policy. So we need to change ourselves. Faculty, as faculty, we need to improve ourselves. We need to innovate ourselves. We need to have innovative pedagogies. We need to unlearn, relearn, upskill. So these are all the terms they're talking about. Then insufficient focus on sustainability in education and industry. Sustainability means sharing of good practices. We need a lot of collaboration between universities, because what is a good practice in one university, if it works, we can try it in another university. So that kind of insufficient focus is there on sustainability. Low research and development spending, 0.6% of GDP compared to the global. In India, I mean, after defense, we spend maximum on education, but compared to global average, it's less. We need to spend. And now a lot of funding has been cut down. So we need no. So these are gray areas, kind of dark areas for India. We need to work on them in terms of especially AI. So this reflects the need for India to address critical gaps in skills and infrastructure to fully realize its potential in the global job market. So these are kind of areas we need to work on. Now, how is India positioned? Carrying on this slide, there was a report of the National Skill Development Corporation India 2024 study that revealed a significant shortfall in skilled workers in India, with demand of 103 million, considering the future, compared to current supply of just 74 million. So there's a big gap. So universities and colleges need to step in with this gap. And we cannot just do it universities, colleges. We need the private public partnership also. That is where NEP talks about a lot of entrepreneurial spirit, the lot of private investment in education, all that is needed. So this disparity underscores an urgent need for targeted skilling and training across various sectors. Obviously, we need a lot of capacity building programs for students, for teachers, for everybody alike. Now, recently, I was just reading a report the other day in the newspaper that China has positioned itself to say that we will do great capacity building programs for all educators in Asia, especially. So they have really taken on that role. India also needs to march up to that. Similarly, it reported rapidly growing sectors like healthcare, drone technology, semiconductor jobs, manufacturing, the IT jobs, green jobs, sustainability, waste management, and AI demand skills, specialized skills currently is in limited supply. So these areas we are in limited supply. So we need to focus on these areas if we need to work. So we need to realign our courses curriculum so that we can integrate more of the AI courses. Okay, now how does India plan to address this skill shortages? Empowering youth through education. India has the largest youth population, so how it plans to do the youth 2025? Expanding education to tertiary education. Tertiary means just after 12th, especially in skills intensive field to harness the potential of India's vast demographic youth. They have modular education pathways, could lower entry barriers, align graduates with industry needs. That is why India has multiple entry and multiple exit. What is the benefit? That after 1 year, you exit out of an undergraduate program with a certificate. But that certificate should enable you to get an entry level job at least. After spending few years, months, you want to come back again, get into the second year, and you get a diploma. And then again, you exit out of it. If you want to work and carry on, then you go into the third year, get a degree. And in the final year, fourth year, you'll have to do a kind of research. Because unless you do research, you will not be able to have that insight into that area. So this is what the modular entry exit, this is what it plans. So NEP, that is why it's a transformational education policy. It's supporting all of this. Reskilling, upscaling is needed, supported by policies by NEP and ULAS, understanding of lifelong learning for all in society. We are heavily going into this. AI, GAI will work. That's why we have a lot of online learning platforms. NEP is focused on self-directed learning. I'm not saying teachers, universities would be redundant. It can never be. Nobody can look into the effective domain of teachers, psychologically speaking. But lot of lifelong learning is promoted for all. Online courses are there. Top universities are also running free online courses. That's the future. We all will have to create awareness and build our own learning. Schools, universities will do that. But the Indian youth has a responsibility of self-directed learning. we must take care of our own learning. This is what it's saying. So NEP recognized this potential and recommends integration into the education system. To increase technology integration in schools, the CBSE in October last year introduced AI and the Internet of Things in the school curriculum for classes 6 to 9. You can see the books, very basic books, but they've started in CBSE schools. This is very important. India's AI mission, 7 sectors, especially in India, AI future of skills. Here they have 7 pillars. They're talking all about India's capacity to build transformers. Like Open AI is becoming huge transformers. I mean, data processing centers. So India is planning to do that. India is also the startup capital of the world. So if you can come up with any projects and think, you can apply for patents and do it. India's AI future skills. They are also giving financial funding. So these are 7 sectors. You can look into this. This is very important for India, 7 areas. And moreover, the aim is to go for a self-reliant, Atmanirbhar and a Viksit Bharat, a very developed India by 2047. So AI has certainly entered into the picture. The only things, if we are not aware, we will be out of the race. So we need to keep ourselves aware and focus on this, India's AI mission in the 7 sectors. Education is really well placed here. Then it does not, and again, perhaps towards the end, it does not matter how many resources if you have, but if you do not know how to use them, it will not be enough. We may just complain, oh, we don't have this, our university doesn't have this. It doesn't matter. Whatever resource that you have, you need to use it very well. So today morning I was remembering Professor De La Cruz's speech that we should be grateful, and you were saying I'm grateful every day at the end. In a country like us, which is so diverse, lot of have and have nots, whatever little technology that we have, we should be thankful for it, and we should try to integrate it and use it to the optimum level. That is what is important, because that will be sustainable then. If you're talking of sustainability, there's no point having so many technologies and without using it to the maximum potential. Have little, but use it completely well. Just conclusion part. So we know this AI will transform education by personalizing learning experience and enhancing teaching practices. We have seen how AI tools can be used. All those 15 areas where AI can be used very well for language, for personalized communication, student support, administrative support. It will routinize much of the mundane tasks. So teachers can be left for doing higher cognitive tasks. Platforms like Byju's, Khan Academies are using AI. It promises, what AI promises, equal opportunities for all students to inclusive and accessible education globally. We need to see how inclusive this platform is. In an overcrowded classroom, this is a problem with India. AI assessments can help identify struggling students, giving the teacher a first-hand, easy access to information for a more tailored support. But here I would like to add one more. China has now introduced, I was just reading, brain tracking system into the brains of children. And what they're trying to do is, when the teacher is teaching a content, they're trying to see where is the child struggling to learn. So this is the kind of tracking that this is GAI, generative artificial. So they have used those kind of technologies too. So this can use us. However, responsible use of AI in education is crucial to ensure ethical considerations are met. We have to use them ethically. How transparent we are, what is the trust system, security, all that is important. Students' rights are protected. Many of the times we sign many things. Even if you do some, we take all cookies accepted. We don't know, but those informations are stored. So those kind of things. Harnessing the full potential of AI in education requires continuous research and monitoring to ensure its effectiveness and sustainability. So the bottom line is that we have to embrace AI, but we must do so with caution. Thank you. These are the references, and I've kept it. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are truly grateful for your compelling speech. The speech has sparkled meaningful discussions among all of us. Now the forum is open for questions and answers.
It's the Q&A session. If anybody has doubts, queries, you may please clear it with ma'am.
Ma'am, it's a great session actually. As you mentioned, humanoid robots and the growing trend of AI in education, how do you foresee AI redefining the role of teachers over the next decade?
That's a very pertinent question. That's what we are here for. I think AI will transform the role of teachers in the sense teachers can do the role of mentoring and counseling because most of the routine tasks which teachers nowadays do, AI will take over. For example, especially in the school sector, if you look into it, even in the university teaching, teachers make lesson plans. I mean, when we as teachers go to a class to teach any content, we come out with a plan. You know, we negotiate, we prepare a day before. This is what I need to teach. I mean, that's what teaching learning is all about. So AI would, you have those intelligent systems which AI can prepare lesson plans. So teachers will not spend hours making lesson plans. One. Second, when teachers grade assignments, so AI can do that because it's all about you're using those platforms, so teachers can do that. So it will be a part of teachers everyday teaching learning and environment.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, my doubt is, will a day come when the AI will be taking our teachers' role in helping the students to prepare them for their learning? For example, nowadays, teachers, parents, they play a vital role in helping them to prepare their lessons. Will AI chip in?
Yes, if you can say in the sense, but not completely take over, but AI can be a personal assistant. They will, in fact, GAI, generative artificial intelligence, is meant for that. It will be a personal assistant for you. It will help you record, schedule when your appointments will be there, what is the time you need to give your exams. This is what they all plan out. If you go into some of the AI tools in education, they will help record all this. So this kind of this kind of responsibilities and role is planned for AI in education, where it will be like an assistant. Even now, you see, we use Alexa and Siri for so many of the things. They've connected to the light. Alexa, switch off the light, it goes off. So in future, but the role of teachers will also be there. It's not that it will reduce the role of the teachers, because what I can see is that AI will create the need for more digitally skilled teachers. Teachers have to be digitally skilled. So the AI will create more responsibilities in teachers to be digitally skilled to use them.
This is just an input in addition to our speaker have mentioned with regards to the awareness and use of artificial intelligence in general. AI is another version of the use of technology, particularly the computer technology. Everything can be generated from that technology. However, our responsibility as a human being, we know how to process and contextualize what is being generated, whatever informations and data. And we should know that as educators in any field, whether you are in the technology field, you are in the academics, this technology facilitates things. It could make everything that you do easier with the use of these tools and applications in this computer technology. So we should be very aware and careful on the use of it. And our major role is that being knowledgeable on the use of this technology, our role then is we should know how to fully process and enrich no? Enriched, because not all informations provided to us are already complete. Those are just additional learnings or informations. However, the end is always depending on us. That's why we always not be so dependent on what this AI, although it helps a lot. Like for example, we can prepare things just like what I did. Actually, I was cramming a day before my flight to finalize the material that I will forward to Dr. Samir, so that I have something to share to you or present to you using the PowerPoint, and that is because of the technology. But what is generated there is all based from facts. I did not present any information that just given to us by these AI tools, but because of facts that is also loaded, uploaded or downloaded to this technology, and then data comes in, and it is there where this human intelligence takes place. Yeah, it facilitates things. We need to patronize and use and welcome the coming of this technology in the future. We should not let ourselves idle of nothing and no knowledge at all about the use of it. Let us just update ourselves and really face the challenge, because the old ones maybe can retire and do not need anymore, but the younger generations need this so much in any endeavor. Yeah. Okay, we have a course in this college, specifically AI. AI is the other version of information technology that any graduate, for me, in my understanding, any graduate of AI is also knowledgeable on the use of these technologies, whatever kind of technology, particularly the computer. That's why if you are an information technology expert, there are different skills that you must have to develop in yourself, just like the web page development, the publisher, and so on, a lot of things. So with the use of the different tools through that AI technology right now, actually what I presented is also an AI generated data, though the information fed comes from a human being, the researcher per se. So not everything that we can see, that's why we have also that what we call Grammarly checker. We have also the plagiarism. We have the killbot. That's why what I have in mind right now is to make a need assessment on a study. What are these different tools or applications coming out now with the use of technology, and which of these applications or tools that are mostly used and least used, and what are the benefits or advantages that can give to the young generations right now. So we should be responsible on the use of the technology. However, it helps us facilitate things. So in the field of teacher, you can create so many things with the use of the technology, but you should be responsible. What you will convey or present to your learners, are these really facts or true? No? Are not just product of artificial intelligence, but a product of human intelligence. Okay, that's only what I can share.
Miss, what is the role of AI in language learning and translation?
There are many tools which are used in language learning. Duolingo is one tool which you can use, help assess children. So they have used, lot of studies have been, chat box have been used, chat GPT. So they can help a lot in students. I mean, for the very basic pronunciation, grammar, correction, rectifying errors, a lot of things has been used. Okay, they can be used. A lot of research has been done on chat gpt and language, because chat gpt is a large language processing model. So in the use of language it's used, especially in grammar. And what sir had also said, right, grammarly is used for writing, improving writing skill. So that's one thing you can use. It's an AI tool, grammarly, right? You can write, you can use the punctuation, you can speak, and you can see did you doing the right pose, the right intonation has been used or not. It can help you speak like a native speaker, all that, this thing.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am not at all a computer techie. Just take it as a layman question. When you ask the audience that whether AI will take over humans when being, everybody is of with opinion that they will not. My clarification I require is when the massive introduction of GAI, what percentage of humans will be taken over by GAI?
So that's the real danger. We all are actually walking into an unknown territory. But if with GAI, strong AI will be created. The kind of sci-fi movies, sci-fi movies, the scientific fiction novels, and if I remember the very famous movie of Aishwarya Rai, I'm forgetting that there's a Chiddi robot was made. There's a Hindi movie, not Hindi, Rajnikant, I think, was the robot. Robot is a movie. So if you remember the Chiddi robot, that is a case of generative AI, a robot. It was ahead of its time, the film. Now it can take over because we are creating GAI systems, sir, where we are creating technology where human intervention is not needed. The technology, the system can function independently of human intervention. It's capable of thinking, problem solving, even being creative like a human being. So we have original text, videos are being created. You can clone them. So it is, but we have guardrails. We have seen what the AI experts in this field have said. Satya Nadella has said we need to build guardrails. We need to be very, very careful. This is one. And besides, if you see Elon Musk, he has made another kind of technology where he used BCI, brain computer chip interface. It's known as neural network. Neural network means you have a computer, and as a chip will be put in my brain, and what I'm thinking, it will be in the computer. So my thoughts will come up. So this is another kind of technology which Elon Musk is making, brain computer interface. So we are moving to Web 5.0. So these are, so now in future, see, machines will be able to tell us what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. Till right now, we say machines cannot think. The affective domain teachers are needed. But we are coming towards a technology where machines can think and act like humans. So we don't know. This is what has been said. This is what I get from the literature, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We truly appreciate the wealth of knowledge you have brought into the forum. And thank you, everyone, for the questions. I would like to invite Mr. Irshad A., Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Arabic, for a formal vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, one and all. It is my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks for this enlightening session of the Acas International Conference. On behalf of Acas, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished keynote address speaker, Dr. Qazi Firdausi Islam, Associate Professor, Department of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia. Dr. Qazi Firdausi Islam, your compelling exploration of revolutionization teaching and learning through AI has provided us with actionable strategies to foster innovation and collaboration in the academic landscape. Your contribution today have truly set the tune for the meaningful discussions throughout this conference. As we conclude this session, may we all take forward the ideas shared today to drive impactful changes in the higher education. Thank you once again to everyone for the time, attention, and dedication to the cause of education in the era of AI. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We now move on to the paper presentation sessions. One of the sessions will continue here, commence here in the seminar hall now. Meanwhile, another parallel session will happen in the lecture hall 1, the adjacent room to the seminar hall. The paper presentation session in the seminar hall will be chaired by Dr. Samir from Jamia Millia Islamia. So, each paper presenter will get a time of 7 minutes to complete their presentation. Kindly customize your presentations to this time frame.